I'm gonna do a layout for you today that I'm hoping is gonna come together quick because today I'm flying away to Europe. But anyways, in the same theme, this is the Are We There Yet paper pack. I got the workshop, so I have some extra parts, but this is just the paper pack. I also have the Picture My Life cards and these rubber shapes. So I'm planning to use the mix-ins that go with this paper as well. So I'm just gonna bring these in right away. I am going to scrap lift myself. So this is the layout that I want to scrap lift, and I've already I'm going to change it up a little, but I've already kind of planned. So this is some San Francisco pictures that I'm going to put in. So we've got those, then I've got 3 tiny ones for over here because as some of you have heard, I've bought the Canon Selfie on Facebook Marketplace. It was very affordable, so I decided to give it a try. And so to maximize my paper, it's better for me to print what fits on a 4x6. So I'm going to go with smaller ones here, and I'll just make a little bit of a smaller decoration down the side there. And I might even add one more. I'm not sure if I want to cut this one that small, but this is the famous Lombard Street, and it's really hard to get a good photo of it, but this gives you an idea of how steep it is. So this is what I'm planning to do.
Well, as you could hear from that little beginning of the video, I was on my way to Europe that evening, and I am already back from Europe. So I just found these videos on my phone, and I realized that I was planning, while my husband was doing some work things in Europe, I was planning to finish these up, but I guess I kind of forgot about this video and that never happened. So you get a bonus video this week, and that's a good thing, I guess. So I am following what I had done pretty closely, but with these bright papers, I did want to trim my photos with some white first. So I just kind of put them in this kind of grid pattern, and then cut out, left a little bit of space in between them, and then cut out the white around them. And I also wanted a barrier between the green paper in the background and the geotag sheet there. So I decided to put a little bit of yellow in the background there. And I gutted out the geotag sheet. I did not keep that part of the video in, but I gutted that out and glued it onto the yellow background because I've got lots of yellow cardstock, but I just wanted to hang on to that little bit of that geotag sheet to use elsewhere on this layout or on the next one. I added some inking around all of the edges, just takes a little bit of the brightness off that yellow, and I find that it makes things blend together very well. And I tucked this onto the page right flush to the bottom, as my page that I'm scrap lifting is as well. Sadly, I think the Are We There Yet paper pack has sold out, but there is quite a few items from the collection still available. The card kit is still available, and the stamp set that I use later on to make a border in this on this layout is still available. So you could recreate this layout with a few changes. So I will link what is still available from this particular collection down below. And otherwise, as you saw my sample layout, you can do this layout in any color. We have lots of beautiful papers just coming out right now. And we actually have an exclusive paper pack that is quite pretty, ready to launch for National Scrapbooking Day, I believe. And there's just a lot of wonderful things coming out soon. So as I mentioned, these pictures were taken in San Francisco, and we just came home from Europe a couple weeks ago. So we've really been traveling a lot these last months, and I'm ready to be home for a while and spend some more time in my craft room. But you'll see on these pictures that in one of them, I'm eating clam chowder in a bread bowl, which if you ever go to San Francisco, you have to do because it's just one of those things that tourists should do. And also you'll see some of the very San Francisco style houses, the trolley, and also the famous houses from the opening credits of the show Full House. The Painted Ladies, they are called. Most of the pictures that I have from our trip to San Francisco, I can do a particular layout kind of that one place that we visited, whether it be Alcatraz Island or lighthouse. So these were the kind of leftover pictures from the different things that we walked by and looked at, a submarine, the Painted Ladies houses, the trolley, my Lombard Street, my husband walking up a steep hill. And so I just wanted to make a layout of all the different things that we kind of did here, there, and everywhere. And then the other layouts will be more specific to what we did that day. Both my husband and I really enjoyed this city. We've been to New York City a couple times, and that's probably our number one most favorite city in the US that we've been to. But this was really a close second. My husband also really likes Chicago, although I haven't been there yet. So I love this little side banner of pictures. These were things that I could print out quite small because we didn't spend a lot of time. They were just kind of something we walked by, but it's kind of fun to be able to remember, oh yeah, we saw that too. I'm adding some of this white stitched paper. It is one of the mix-in papers, which I'm not sure if that's still available, but if it is, I'll link it down below. And I'm adding some of the branding strips, which or we call them the zip strips, but it's just a branding strip that tells you the paper pack and what colors are included. And they just have really cute designs on them, and they make really cute little border decorations. And I guess they're kind of like a bonus because on a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, they are that extra little 1/2 inch. Now this Having a Great Time sticker is from the sticker sheet, and I'm just kind of auditioning at different places, deciding how I want to use it. And I do end up putting it where I've got it right over here, and I do pop it up a little bit. I also inked around the edges just to kind of have a whole uniform look on this page. These are the pocket cards, the Picture My Life cards that I got that go with this paper pack. I wanted to use this as kind of a title or subtitle, and I wanted to keep the little map on the top visible, but I wanted to take the rest off. So I cut up to the map on each side with my paper trimmer, and then I used our scissors to trim around the rest of the map. So when I put this in the place I had planned for it, it was covering up my husband's legs, and I really wanted to show how he was walking up that steep hill. So I decided to move it a bit and fill up the white space with some embellishments. I did first use a pocket card that has a green sort of map background to fill up the space by putting just a rectangle in there. And then I put the embellishments actually over top of that. So this became kind of the title, and then on the right side, the yellow banner became the subtitle. I decided to just go with 3 pictures on the right side and allow the middle one to be a little bit larger. And I end up matting them in some pink paper after and putting some banners underneath them to anchor them down. I also added a few more embellishments, but I do move them around a bit yet. Matting the pictures in the pink also made it possible to bring the pink all the way to the right hand side of the page and kind of gives it a more balanced look. Part of the reason I love the geotag paper, number one, is because we were kind of all over the map on this day. So this is perfect to show, you know, that we stopped at all these places. And the other thing is it kind of combines all the colors. And I also really like those little sideways arrow, I was going to say sideways triangles or arrows on that zip strip that kind of blends all the colors as well. You've probably seen this technique in dovetailing before. I cut into what I believe is the center of my piece of rectangle paper, and then I cut from each corner to the point that I cut to, or the deepest part that I cut to. I like to have less pointy dovetails. I prefer like the wider dovetail like this, so that's what I usually choose to do. I did fiddle and fuss around a little bit getting this to work out, and my embellishments ended up being in the way, so I moved the compass to the opposite side of the page to make it fit a little better. So now that that's all glued down, I'm adding a few more embellishments. I have a cluster on the right-hand side and the left-hand side, and I'm just adding a little photo op sticker here to my little banner on the right-hand side. And then I add some embellishments up above the trolley area there to make a third embellishment cluster to give myself a visual triangle. And I use this little tag and cut off the bottom part of it and cover up the area underneath there is going to be covered up by a couple of other embellishment stickers. If you're enjoying today's video, I would love it if you would like the video and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. And you can also hit that bell icon and then you will be notified when I put out new videos. I don't really have set days. It's just whenever I can get them edited and ready to upload. I'm just going to finish up here with a few of the little rubber suitcases, which I believe are still available. And I also use the bottom half of that tag and tuck it in that right-hand embellishment cluster so that I can do a little bit of journaling. So no stickers wasted on this layout. I also wanted to add my border stamp, so I did bring in the stamp set and stamp it on a white piece of paper, and then I cut it out with my thin cut and added it to the strips of paper going across the layout. So here's a comparison of the two layouts, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll catch you next time. Bye.